A fever is not an illness in itself, but is usually a sign that the body is working to fight off an illness of some kind. It is usually not a good idea to try to get rid of your fever entirely because it may interrupt the body's attack against the virus or bacteria that it is trying to fight. Depending on what is causing your fever, you may want to let it run its course or you may want to seek medical treatment for the underlying illness. If your fever is making you uncomfortable or if you're concerned about a fever running too high, there are plenty of methods you can use to bring it down. Undress a bit. Although you might feel cold when you have a fever, your body temperature is actually too high, and you will need to lower it in order to feel warmer. Allow your body to release excess heat by wearing only a thin layer of clothing and covering up with a thin blanket or sheet if necessary. Piling on sweatshirts and blankets can actually be dangerous if you have a fever because it can raise your body temperature even more. Set the temperature to a comfortable level. Keeping the room temperature excessively high may prevent your body from releasing its excess heat, but your room should also not be too cold. Shivering is your body's way of naturally increasing its internal temperature, so if your room is so cold that you are shivering, you will only be making your fever worse. If your room is hot and stuffy, open a window or turn on a fan. Cool yourself down with water. Dampening your skin is a great way to lower your body temperature, but you should make sure that you are careful not to make yourself too cold. Apply a damp towel to your forehead and extremities or sponge yourself down with some warm water. The water should always be lukewarm to prevent your body from shivering in response. Sponge baths are ideal for children who have a fever. You may have read that applying rubbing alcohol to the skin can help reduce a fever, but the alcohol can be absorbed into the skin, leading to alcohol poisoning, so stick with water. Take over-the-counter medications. If your fever is making you uncomfortable, you can take over-the-counter fever reducers, such as acetaminophen, Tylenol, or ibuprofen. Make sure to follow dosing instructions carefully. Acetaminophen can help reduce fever as well as the aches and other side effects in the body. If you have any liver problems, do not take acetaminophen without talking to your doctor first. Aspirin can also be used to reduce fevers in adults, but it should never be given to children, as it has been linked to a serious disease called Reye's syndrome. Keep in mind that these medications might make you feel better, but they will not treat the underlying cause of your fever. If you suspect that you have some kind of bacterial infection, it is extremely important that you see your doctor and take all of your prescribed medications. Get plenty of rest. Help your body in its battle by getting extra sleep and spending as much time lounging around as you can. This does not mean that you have to stay in bed all day, but try to avoid exerting yourself. Staying home from school or work is probably a good idea, both because you need your rest, and because you want to avoid passing on a contagious virus or bacterial infection to your classmates or coworkers. Stay hydrated. A fever can easily cause you to become dehydrated, which can lead to various other symptoms. You will feel better and increase your body's ability to fight off your illness if you drink plenty of fluids. The amount of water your body needs will depend upon many different factors, including your weight and activity level. Most people should drink between 9 and 13 cups of water each day. Water is best, but you can also drink juices, diluted sports drinks, 1 part water to 1 part sports drink, or an oral electrolyte solution like Pedialyte. Eat right. Eating foods that are rich in nutrients and easy for your body to digest will help you stay strong and fight off illnesses. Try to eat plenty of fruits and vegetables and avoid junk food. Lean proteins and healthy fats from sources such as olive oil are very important. Eating foods that naturally contain probiotics, such as yogurt, may help your body fight off illness. You can also try supplementing your diet with multivitamins for general health, or with vitamin C and omega-3 fatty acids for immune strength and decreased inflammation. Be sure to discuss all supplements with your doctor, especially if you are taking any medications. Try a liquid diet. You don't have to stick to an entirely liquid diet, but try incorporating more liquid foods into your diet in order to promote hydration and easy digestion. Popsicles and soups are two great options. Drink infused tea. There are many herbs that are believed to help your body fight off infection and reduce inflammation. Try buying a tea with beneficial ingredients, or creating your own infused tea by steeping whole herbs in water or mixing in powdered herbs. The following ingredients are all thought to be beneficial when you have a fever: green tea, cat's claw, reishi mushroom, milk thistle, andrographis. Take homeopathic medicines. For fevers that don't require antibiotics or other medical attention, you may want to try treating your symptoms with homeopathic remedies. Even though these medicines are natural, you should check with your doctor to make sure they are safe for you, especially if you are taking other medications. The following ingredients are sold as natural fever remedies: aconitum, apis mellifica, belladonna, bryonia, ferrum phosphoricum, gelsemium. Assess your symptoms. In order to determine the best way to get rid of your fever, it is important to know what is causing it. Make note of all the symptoms you are experiencing. If you have any symptoms that cannot be explained by a common virus, such as a sore throat or earache, see a doctor for a diagnosis. Seek immediate medical attention if you experience symptoms such as confusion, difficulty moving or breathing, blue lips or nails, seizures, stiff neck, or severe headaches. A high fever in a child can trigger a febrile seizure, which is usually harmless and generally does not indicate a more serious health problem. However, you should take your child to the doctor as soon as possible following her first febrile seizure. Call an ambulance if the seizure lasts longer than a few minutes. Otherwise, drive your child to the emergency room as soon as the seizure is over. Take antibiotics. If you are diagnosed with a bacterial infection, such as strep throat or a urinary tract infection, your doctor will prescribe an antibiotic medication to help treat it. Take your medication as directed and your fever, along with your other symptoms, should disappear within a few days. Don't take antibiotics if you have a virus, such as the flu or a common cold. The medication will not be effective in treating the virus. Take your antibiotics as prescribed until they are gone, even if you start feeling better. This ensures you truly eradicate the bacteria and prevents antibiotic resistance in the future. Know when a fever is too high. Fevers are usually nothing to worry about, but they can be dangerous if they run too high or if they persist for too long. Seek medical attention right away if you are worried that you or your child might have a fever that is too high. For children 3 months and younger, seek medical treatment for a fever of 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 degrees Celsius, or higher. For children between 3 and 12 months of age, seek medical treatment for a fever of 102.2 degrees Fahrenheit, 39 degrees Celsius, or higher. For older children and adults, seek medical treatment for a fever of 105 degrees Fahrenheit, 40.6 degrees Celsius, or higher that does not readily subside with treatment. A prolonged fever over 107.6 degrees Fahrenheit, 42 degrees Celsius, can cause the body to start shutting down and may lead to brain damage if not treated. You should also seek medical treatment for any fever that persists for longer than 48 to 72 hours, or longer than 24 to 48 hours for children under the age of 2. Get treatment for chronic conditions. Fevers can also be caused by chronic autoimmune and inflammatory conditions, such as lupus, vasculitis, and ulcerative colitis. The best way to treat these kinds of fevers is to work with your doctor to create a plan for treating your underlying condition. If you have any chronic medical conditions, you should contact your doctor whenever you get a fever. A fever may also be the first sign of a serious disease, such as cancer, so be sure to see a doctor if you have a persistent fever. Get immediate treatment for fevers caused by environmental factors. If you experience a fever after exposure to extreme heat, you may be suffering from hyperthermia or heat stroke. In this case, your body needs to be cooled down as quickly as possible. Other symptoms of hyperthermia include weakness, nausea, confusion, dizziness, and an altered mental state. People with hyperthermia usually need to be treated at a hospital, so get emergency medical help right away. While waiting for medical treatment, you can attempt to lower your body temperature by removing excess clothing, applying cold water to your skin, moving to a cool, well-ventilated location, and drinking lots of cool fluids.